So you are thinking about moving to the Las Vegas, Nevada area, and you are considering Henderson, Nevada. Well, in this video, we're going to jump onto Google Maps, and we're going to take you through a few points of interest in regards to areas that I'm familiar with, and hopefully that you're familiar with as well. We won't be able to touch on everything. There's so many great things about Henderson, but we'll give you some of those general things in that sense. So as we always like to say on this channel, let the show begin, because we're getting after it right now. Now, if this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything that there is to know in regards to Henderson, the facts, the funds, the map, all that kind of great stuff, or if you just want more information in regards to the Las Vegas Valley, be it Las Vegas City, North Las Vegas, and again, Henderson, of course, make sure again that you subscribe down below, tap that bell for notifications. Also in our banner, we'll have a wonderful little survey that you can click on there and you can give us your information, provide us with your information. We'll reach out to you and make sure that we get any kind of questions or concerns you may have about the Las Vegas Valley. But today, again, we're jumping over to those Google Maps. The Google Maps, we're going to help you guys out in regards to what's happening here in the Henderson area. Again, like I said, pointing out a few of those things. Give me 1 second. Let's connect to Google Maps. Okay, so we are on Google Maps, and we're going to just first off all show you basically where Henderson is. Again, most people think of our little area here that you see. This is, of course, our Google map of the Las Vegas Valley. I always refer to this wonderful little section here that's going to be called our 215. It's one of our highways that goes right now here. I'm starting to go through the Henderson area. So down in here in our sort of kind of southeast corner is where Henderson will be. But nonetheless, that C that goes around most of the Las Vegas area, again, I just call it that wonderful little C that's had a rough time here in Las Vegas, but that's our 215. This other area here is going to be our 15. This comes from the north, heading down through the middle of the city, through the Las Vegas Strip, heading down this way now out towards the Los Angeles area. So LA, heading out to LA. So that's the 15 that sort of kind of divides half of the Las Vegas Valley, west side, east side, west side where Summerlin is, east side where Henderson is, Green Valley, all those different types of things. Another highway I want you guys to be aware of is definitely starting down here first in the Henderson area is going to be this 515. This 515 does take us up and through Henderson, now taking us into the old parts of Las Vegas. And then this actually can connect us to this other area here, which is called now the 95. Now that crazy middle section, and that 95 basically goes up and out, takes you out towards the Reno area. So we have Reno heading to the north here. And then we also have this top 15 that can take you more towards that Utah area. Now, this area where I'm going to circle, this big area here, this is what we sort of lovingly call the spaghetti bowl. That's where there was a lot of all the different highways and everything else that sort of kind of meet in that middle and sort of weave in and out of each other, all the kind of great stuff, hence the spaghetti bowl. So that's a little bit of the highway system that will be seen throughout the Henderson area. Now we're going to get rid of the highways for right now, and then I want to show you the exact areas of Henderson, or I at least want to map out what would be considered Henderson. So if we open up our little search here and we throw in Henderson, Nevada, we want to basically see exactly what that looks like. And as you can see down in this lower right, I'm going to zoom back out, that is going to be our Henderson area. That sort of red perforated all around there is going to be that sort of Henderson area. So I'm going to use our red marker here, and I'm going to divide Henderson up into a few different areas. There's like 4 little distinct areas that we tend to view Henderson through. We view it from the east side of things to the old parts of Henderson to sort of that middle part of Henderson, and then more towards that newer parts of Henderson, which is going to be down in the south area, almost heading out towards the LA area if we get towards the 15. So I'm going to break down this perforated area down below, and I'll show you exactly what I mean when I say that. So now if we were to use our red marker is going to help us understand that this area here, which is predominantly the Lake Las Vegas area, Cadence, all that kind of good stuff. That's the east side of Henderson, if you will, is the way we view that. And then this area here is going to be more of the area that we called we lovingly call the old parts of Henderson. So all of that's going to be sort of the old parts of Henderson. It would probably include this lower part here as well, but nonetheless, that gives you an idea. This area here now, this is going to be called more of the mid, and that's going to have everything from like Green Valley Ranch, all those different parts of Henderson will be incorporated into this sort of that mid section of Green Valley. And then everything down here is basically what we call the newer parts of the Henderson area. That's going to be where Inspirada, we've done videos on Inspirada, so you can check that community out, that newer, that faster growing area. Now up in here in the older area, or I should say let's see if I can find my mouse, in the east area of Henderson, there is things like Cadence and all that kind of good stuff. And you can find a lot of growth happening in that area as well. I believe that Cadence and that east side, they probably reported close to almost, I think it was like 15% happening there in that particular area of Henderson, or I should say throughout 15%, but a lot of it was happening also in the Cadence, which is that upper east side, as well as the lower south side where Inspirada is. So those are the four sort of kind of meaty parts of Henderson that I want you guys to almost consider. So if I say something like East Henderson, or if I say Mid Henderson, or if I say the old Henderson, or if I say South Henderson, whatever it is, you somewhat get a visual of what that looks like. So now we're going to clear a lot of these things off, and then now I'm going to take you into the sort of some of the interest that I pointed out. And one of the biggest ones that most people think about it, and even when they come to Las Vegas, they think about this, is getting out to the Hoover Dam. Now, Hoover Dam isn't necessarily in Henderson, Nevada, but it is on that side where Henderson is, and is one of those attractions that people do, of course, really enjoy when they come to Las Vegas and when they come to Henderson. If I say Las Vegas a lot in this, please understand I am still speaking about Henderson. It's just when we live here in the Las Vegas Valley, we tend to think of the valley encompassing all of these places: Henderson, North Las Vegas, of course, Las Vegas, and then also that unincorporated Clark County area as well. All of that, no matter where we are throughout the valley, we still consider it all Vegas. We know Henderson's Henderson, but at the same time, when you live here, we still call it Las Vegas. So I may slip and say Las Vegas when I'm intentionally meaning Henderson, and I'll try and point that out. Nonetheless, when people come to visit Las Vegas as well as Henderson, which is going to be down in this area, they will still want to get out towards the Hoover Dam. And I say getting from, let's say one of the points of interest down here could be, if we were coming from Green Valley Ranch, which is going to be more of that mid sort of section of Henderson. If we're coming from the Green Valley Ranch area, and let's just say we wanted to get directions from Mid Valley or from the Green Valley Ranch heading over to the Hoover Dam. So I'm going to start in the Green Valley Ranch area and almost use that as our starting point to get us to some of these sort of kind of points of interest that I'll sort of kind of point out to you guys. Green Valley Ranch is one of those, it's not the downtown area of Henderson, but it is somewhat of a downtown area of that middle part of Henderson. And so everything is going to be there from the Green Valley, the actual casino. There's going to be downtown area of Green Valley, which is really cool. Upstairs living in some of the area that's called the district. There's going to be upstairs living as well as downstairs. There's going to be great shopping, restaurants, all those different types of things. So I want to use this as sort of our hub, if you will, and I'll take you out to a few more points of interest. But again, Green Valley Ranch is one of those points of interest that I do want you guys to be aware of. Again, absolutely stunning area. It is a great spa, casino, all those different types of things. But if we were to look for directions, but if we're taking those directions from, let's say, the Hoover Dam, if we want to get out to the Hoover Dam from Green Valley, it'll probably take us, according to this map here, about 33 minutes getting us out to the Hoover Dam. So driving out that way. So not too far. And if we were to do something like the Harry Reid International Airport, that would take us from the Green Valley Ranch area. They're telling us 13 minutes. I would tell you guys, let's think a little bit more like 20-ish minutes, depending on what kind of traffic you hit and all that kind of good stuff. But from that Green Valley, that midsection of the Henderson area, you want to think about 20 minutes getting to the Harry Reid Airport. Again, location here for this particular area of Henderson. All of it, Henderson is just fantastic. I love the idea. Of course, people here moving to Las Vegas, moving to Henderson, but just the location of our valley is so phenomenal. I say it in so many other videos. We can do quick weekend drives. We can get over to Harry Reid. We can fly internationally, get down to Australia, we can get over to Hawaii, we can, whatever it may be, fly over to California if we want to fly to California, get over to the East Coast, we can fly up to Canada, just really an easy hub to get in and out of in that sense. So again, the Harry Reid International Airport. So if another, I think is a point of interest in regards to areas that I like in the Henderson area, I want to point out to you guys what's called the Water Street. Let me see if Water Street comes up. Yeah, so that does come up, and that's coming from that Green Valley sort of central area. The Water Street is really cool. It's an area that a lot of people, even when you live here, you don't tend to know a lot about, but a fantastic area. I'm going to pull it up on my map here and show you guys it on, so we can get a couple of little shots of it. But such a great area of Henderson that is really coming about, really taking that sort of older section of Henderson and just doing phenomenal things. You guys can see from these photos, really fun, older buildings, some of the new buildings are basically taken over here as well. They're just doing some fun things down on that Water Street area. Really great area in the sense of having lots of events. They do, I think, a last Friday there in that area, a lot of community events. As you can see, cars, people love doing things like that. This with the cars out there. It's a great bakery that's there as well. We've done other videos in regards to the Water Street district as well, but a great area that a lot of people, even locals, don't really know about. So I suggest you definitely make sure you take time to get down to the Water Street district in Henderson, in Old Henderson, in the downtown area of Henderson. And before I get too deep into the Henderson map here, I really want to make sure and remind you guys that Henderson, if you guys didn't know, this was one of those cities that was voted from Forbes magazines and a few other publications as the second safest city in the nation. And that was probably, I think it was 2019, 2020. So it has drawn a lot of people have come to this particular area. Like I was saying earlier, it has grown really quickly. I think it's up like 15% in regards to the population and people moving there. So that has brought a few little challenges and all those different types of things to Henderson. But yet again, with it having such a great reputation, second safest city in the nation for 2-3 years straight, in that sense, it has sort of kind of not doubled, but it definitely has drawn a lot of attention in that sense. And it has allowed it to, not allowed, but it's basically pushed the numbers up, affordability and all those different types of things. So a little bit more expensive than Las Vegas, but yet at the same time, with the second safest city being thrown around your city for 2 years, 3 years straight kind of thing, who wouldn't want to live in that particular area? Now I want to point out, being a big sports guy here myself, I want to point out a really cool area, which is down in the south parts of Henderson, which is going to be the practice stadium for the Las Vegas Raiders. And that is a really cool area right now that I think they may be actually moving, but as of right now, it is there. And I want to point it out because it's such a cool building. It's such a beautiful building. These are some night shots of it. And then we're going to show you some quick little, hopefully exterior and daytime shots of it as well. Really cool facility. Look how freaking huge that is. It's almost like a football field inside of this big old huge space in that sense. My understanding is that they may be looking at, that's before it was all built, they may be looking at different areas. And I think they're talking about Costa Mesa and California because they want it a little bit cooler as far as practicing outdoors. But for right now, again, this is a really huge attraction in the Henderson area, is our practice facility for our Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Henderson does have their own I'd say sports as well. They have everything from the Silver Knights. We have the Vegas Golden Knights here, which is the NHL team. But then we have the minor league team, which is the Silver Knights. And Henderson really kind of embraces and wraps themselves around them as well. They have their own facility where they practice out in the old areas of Las Vegas, or old areas of Henderson. See, I was about to say Las Vegas. And then in addition to this area where the Las Vegas Raiders are, actually our two-time champions, the WNBA Laces, they have their headquarters here as well. So I'm going to pull this over, and as you can see, the WNBA Aces, they have their practice. These ladies have done it twice. They've won that championship twice, and we're absolutely proud of these ladies. They were our first champions. They were our first champions. When the Aces won, then all of a sudden the Vegas Golden Knights, they turned around and they stepped up and they won. So they became the Stanley Cup. So we've had them. We have big champions here. We've had so much sports that's happening here. But again, in the Henderson area specifically are these two practice facilities, both the Las Vegas Raiders practice facilities, as well as our two-time champions, the WNBA LV Aces. And continuing on a little bit in regards to the sports, I want to point out, even though they're not in the Henderson area, I want to point out a couple of spots as far as our attractions or points of interest. And that's definitely going to be the Allegiant Stadium, of course, where the Las Vegas Raiders actually play, as well as T-Mobile, where our Vegas Golden Knights basically play as well. So we're going to point out those two areas. So earlier we pointed out that the travel time from Green Valley all the way here to the Harry Reid was about 13, I really say more like 20 minutes. If we continue on here, we're going to continue on the 215, jump on the 15, and then this will get us over to the here Allegiant Stadiums, as well as the T-Mobile. Now, the Allegiant Stadium, again, I'd say that's probably going to be about 20, I'd say be safe around 20, 25 minutes as well getting there. T-Mobile, just throwing 3 or 4 more minutes. It's literally right across the street from each other, just in that sense. But again, both of them areas where our professional teams definitely play here. The Allegiant Stadium, again, a phenomenal, huge, beautiful facility. Been there a few games and all that kind of great stuff, but definitely something that, when you guys come and if you decide to move here, whatever that may be, you definitely want to partake. We're just becoming such a huge valley city, Henderson as well as Las Vegas, becoming such a great place for sports in that sense. So Allegiant Stadium, really an absolutely beautiful space, and we're absolutely proud of the Raiders. We'll get there. We're going to get champions. They're going to be champions soon. We're going to help them get there. All that kind of good stuff. We found some new players, all that kind of great stuff. So we're mixing it up. Coaches, new coaches, all that kind of good stuff. So we're fingers crossed, pushing them forward in that sense. Now I want to sneak us back over to the the T-Mobile, again, like I said, which is just down the street from the Allegiant Stadium. And then I'm going to show you what that looks like a little bit so we can get some interior shots of the Allegiant Stadium as well. Keep saying Allegiant, T-Mobile Stadium as well. And we'll get that one here. See if we can get that to pull up. This again is where our Vegas Golden Knights basically host and play. Everything also comes in. T-Mobile is one of our biggest, busiest arenas as well. Concerts, other sports activities, all that different stuff also happen there at the T-Mobile Arena. And it's right there in this downtown area. And I say downtown, it's not downtown, it's the Las Vegas Strip area where this plaza is just packed with great foods. This giant woman, I believe she was from the Burning Man, I think, something like that, out in the desert. They bring in a lot of the different arts that have happened at these different facilities here throughout Las Vegas, and that's really cool and that's fun. So, and since we're here talking about this particular area, we're talking about the Allegiant Stadium, we're talking about T-Mobile, just know, again, one of the points of interest that we would point out to you, of course, is just going to be simply that the Las Vegas Strip. These guys are seconds away from the Las Vegas Strip in the sense of the Allegiant Stadium and T-Mobile Arena, because basically right here is we're on Park MGM here. We have Excalibur Hotel that's right here. We have Luxor right here. So just seconds from there is going to be our internationally renowned Las Vegas Strip, where we have millions upon millions upon millions of great people like yourself that come and do make Las Vegas and Las Vegas Strip a point of interest. And especially even for people there in the Henderson area, when you don't necessarily want to be a part of all that wonderfulness all day long, you can sneak back over to Henderson Henderson, again, which is just going to be about, I'd say, 20, 25 minutes away. And you can get back to your peace and serenity. And again, keep Vegas as Vegas over there, and then get back to quietness of Henderson and all that great stuff. So those are a few of the points of interest in regards to our sports. Trust me, there's so much more. We have so much going on. We have everything from the Las Vegas area. We're going to be looking at our A's that are coming from Oakland, that's building there right next to where the old Tropicana was. We also have where the NBA is looking at different spots where I believe our Bright Line is coming in. That Bright Line is that train that's going to connect us from the Las Vegas area out to different areas of California. And I think it's Rancho Cucamonga is going to be the stop. Don't quote me on that. I believe that's going to be the stop. And then from there, you'll take a train that will take you into the LA area. So again, a lot of it's going to be tightening things up. So you're right there in that Henderson area that would get you onto this Las Vegas Strip area where you can get to that Bright Line that gets you out towards that LA area. So a lot of great things are happening and right around the Henderson area, if not in the Henderson area. So those were our sports. Let's jump you guys over to some of that outdoor stuff that Henderson is definitely well known for. And we just want to point out a few things and maybe even point out a couple of those things that are nearby that we can get you out to from the Henderson area as well. Now, just to take us back a little bit, Henderson, just to remind you, like I said in the beginning, Henderson was founded in the 1953 time frame, and it has grown so much even till today's time. It probably is about 106 miles or so, and probably growing a little bit as far as square footage, as far as how much Henderson is. And then population, I think they're almost up to like 320,000, if not 330,000, as far as their population is concerned, because of that new growth that is definitely happening there. Now, because Henderson is growing so quickly as well, guys, the population is definitely expanding out there. Low inventory is happening out there. It's definitely helping to increase prices in the Henderson area, definitely increasing cost of living in the Henderson area. So make sure you look at one of our other videos in regards to look at cost of living and all those different things that we go a little bit more in depth in those other videos. Yet again, outdoor stuff here with 106 miles worth of land and everything around. You have so many miles of trails, and we're going to pull you up to the old area of Las Vegas. And I just want to point out to you, this one here is called Central Park. I love this one because it's called Central Park, and mainly because, of course, of New York City boy here. I'm just really excited about the fact that there's something called Central Park here. Not like the Central Park of New York City, but nonetheless, beautiful area, really a great outdoor space, lots of green, big pool, a big body of water in the middle of the area there. Tons of places for kids to play, playgrounds and different wet pads and tennis and basketball and all of those different types of things. Trails galore all throughout Henderson. So you can find a lot of those, especially in the Central Park and other areas of Henderson. I believe that we have outdoor wise about 10 either private or public golf courses. So according to our Wikipedia notes, it's more like 37 miles worth of trails throughout the Henderson area. And of course, some of those trails will lead you into the Las Vegas area as well. A few other things that we do want to point out as well is just going to be more about the real estate aspect in the sense of Henderson. Like we said, the cost of living definitely has gone up a little bit. Prices have gone up a little bit. You can definitely find homes in those 300,000s, more like those townhomes, condos, apartments, in that sense. And then you can go into the sort of kind of mid-level entry homes up to 500 plus thousand, like 515, 517,000, I think is their median price home there in the Henderson area. And then you can find, of course, much more luxury homes, the 700, 800s, 1.5, 1.2, 2 million. And then we do have the ultra luxury in the Henderson area. It's definitely not something that has escaped us, but Ascaya is definitely one of those areas in the Henderson area that has been basically embedded into the mountains of Henderson. And it's absolutely stunning. These properties, the land itself could go anywhere from 2 million, possibly 5 million. And you just have phenomenal views of the Las Vegas Strip and the Valley from those particular homes. Right next door, you're going to have like McDonald Highlands and all those different types of luxury communities. And then you'll have other beautiful communities within the Las Vegas, or within the Henderson area. Axis also falls into that sort of kind of beautiful luxury or ultra luxury kind of feel, but you'll have other things that we did a video on, I think on the canyons. You'll find properties there more around the 1.3, 1.2, 1.5. We have other different communities. You can find homes in those 700s, those 500s, those 600s. 600s. So lots of opportunities in regards to real estate. Like we said, again, real estate, the levels of how many listings that we have out there is still very low, but you do have a variety of price points. And of course, if you have any questions about that, please make sure you reach out to us. We'd love to make sure that we can help you and advise you in regards to your real estate. I do this all the time. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Lavert Pompey Benefield. I'm a team leader here, eXp Realty. So again, if I and my team can be of service to you, make sure that you reach out to us, and look forward to helping you guys. There's two ways you can reach us. The descriptions below, or in our banner, we have that survey. Just fill that information out, and we'd love to be able to reach out to you on behalf of earning your business in that sense. So again, real estate is there. There's tons of it. So beautiful area to live in. Anthem Country Club that we're going to point out here as far as beautiful golfing and everything else. Inspirata, again, one of those fast growing areas in Henderson. That's absolutely stunning. And then again, here we talked about the sports facilities as far as the Raiders. And then we also want to point out one of my favorites, which is the M Resort. It's one of those quiet, hidden resorts that a lot of the locals here in Henderson and in Las Vegas, because we definitely sneak in from Las Vegas over to M, that a lot of people just don't know about, but we locals know about, and we love going there because it's a little quieter, it's away from everybody, it's a beautiful pool. The Las Vegas Raiders almost have their headquarters, their front headquarters in there. They have a couple of bars and different things like that where you can watch the game, and it's sort of kind of the spot where a lot of the Raiders fans and folks will tend to go sometimes before they even sneak up to the game, all those different types of things. So tons of things are going on in the Henderson area. There's so much to go over. There's Ethel M, the chocolate place, and there's places like that during the holidays that are absolutely stunning and beautiful. There's so many things about Las Vegas, of course, that we did not point out because we really wanted to give you a little bit more focus on that Henderson area. If you have questions, concerns, thoughts, whatever it may be, you're planning to move here, of course, to the Henderson area, make sure you reach out. Give us about 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever that may be, so we could help you plan what that move is going to look like, so that really it could be a wonderful, smooth move for you. We know that moving, buying a home, selling a home is one of the toughest things that people can do out there. And we want to make sure that you're partnering with us, partnering with myself and my team, so that we can help make that smooth move and that transition smooth for you. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little small view of the map in regards to Henderson. Check out our other videos on Henderson. Make sure you get that information as well. And if we can help you, please reach out, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Take care.